Hello guys, welcome to the Goddess series, this journey into discovering and healing and awakening your deep feminine goddess energy. As you may have already known, if you've done some of these classes before, this is a combination of yoga asana classes, meditations, spiritual activations, rituals, spell work, all to help you connect to different feminine archetypes, to connect to different goddesses that can guide you on this journey to healing and awakening your deep feminine energy and returning back to that core divinely feminine energy. So for today's class, this is your Aphrodite activation, and this is going to be a mat-based class. This is a sensual slow flow to help you connect to the energy of Aphrodite. So when you are ready, come and meet me on your mat. Make sure that it feels like a really nourishing space. So maybe light a candle, put on your favorite comfortable outfit to flow in, maybe make yourself a tea, and we will get started. So welcome to your Aphrodite activation. Before we begin, first things first is it's going to be really fantastic for you to begin to get to know this goddess of Aphrodite. Now, Aphrodite is one of the probably more well-known goddesses. She is the goddess of beauty, of love, of self-love, of deep feminine sensuality, which we often don't hear her mentioned for, but is actually such a cornerstone of her energy as a goddess. If we think of the birth of Aphrodite, that beautiful painting where she's birthed from the ocean as the shells open, she's there in full goddess expression. She's in the nude as well because she's just so fully alive within her sensual energy, and that is actually what we're really going to be trying to embody and activate throughout this class. So when we think about this idea of sensuality, often this is really, really blocked within us as women. We're often taught to have a lot of shame around our sensuality, to feel quite nervous and uncomfortable when the topic of sensuality comes up, and sexuality as well. And Aphrodite is a goddess that wants to unleash that in a really gentle, self-loving way, because the truth of the matter is that when we're on this journey of true, deep, authentic self-love, we can only find that when we have met every single part of ourselves and we begin to unlearn some of the shame that we may have picked up from society, that we probably have picked up from the world that we live in now. That is what we are really going to be asking the goddess of Aphrodite to help us move through and work through within this class. You may find at moments within this class you feel a little uncomfortable if these movements are new, if tapping into this side of yourself is new, but if that is the case, that is energy moving through the body. That's energy moving through especially the hip space, where we store a lot of that shame and fear around this deeper feminine energy of sensuality. So I actually really want you to welcome that and almost hand it over to the goddess as she guides us through this practice. So when you are ready, meet me on your mat. We're going to start in a comfortable seat today, whatever that looks like for you. Ideally cross-legged, but if that doesn't work, you can sit on the heels or just with the legs extended. Allow the shoulders to drop down from the ears and allow the eyelids to slowly soften down, closing the eyes. Taking a moment just to arrive into the space. Imagining you could create a protective bubble around the mat. Just beginning to build that with each breath. Creating a really safe space for exploring this sacred sensuality today. Focusing at the hip bones, allowing them to sink down. Allowing them to almost feel like they could melt down into the mat. And then allowing your awareness to come to the heart space. Imagining with each breath this heart space could begin to open like a rose, blossoming petal by petal, beginning to unfurl and open, creating a portal for the goddess to begin to move with you and through you. In this moment, we're calling upon the energy of Aphrodite, inviting her in to this sacred space upon our mat. Maybe you feel her energy begin to descend into the heart space, this warm, soft, rosy energy. Maybe you feel the energy surround you. Maybe you're just trusting she's here, calling her in, visualizing her energy arriving, and then placing your hands gently on the heart where this rose would be, taking a moment to connect with her on a personal level, asking her what is it she needs to teach you during this activation. Trusting the message that comes. Taking a deep breath, allowing this energy to move through the body. Exhale, sighing it out through the mouth, letting it go. Keeping the eyes soft, the hands come onto the knees. We're going to begin to make circles with the hips, whichever direction feels best first. Keeping the eyes closed here, I really want you to feel into the energetics of this. Oftentimes, even this movement can feel a little uncomfortable if we haven't done it before. But loosening through the hip space, taking these circles is a really beautiful way to open up that sensual feminine energy, that deep energy of self-love, of healing. So continuing these circles, maybe allowing the shoulders to come in, and then swapping direction, breathing into this. Well done. Continuing here. Then arriving at a neutral space as you inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, start to fold forwards, rounding through the back. As you inhale, ripple up, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rippling up, sliding the left hand over, the right arm floats up here. Bringing that image of this unfurling of Aphrodite as we move through the practice. Exhale, sweep the arm. Slowly the left arm comes over, reawakening, unraveling here. As you inhale, come back to center, making your way to all fours. Shoulders are over the wrists, hips are over the knees. And as you arrive, we're moving through just a simple cat-cow, so drop the belly, lift the chest. And as you exhale, round the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the chin in. Closing down the eyes, moving through these cat-cows. I want you to keep your eyes closed for as much of this practice as you can. When the eyes close down, it can often feel even safer to tap into the sensual energy. Deep inhales and exhales. Now allowing the hips to begin to come into these cat-cows, rocking them from side to side, beginning to take circles, allowing the body to move intuitively. It is so important that you let go of what this looks like. Aphrodite's energy is actually not one who cares about what she looks like. She has this undenying belief in the beauty of her energy and how that leads for her. So it's not about what the practice looks like, it's about how it feels in all of the senses. Beautiful. Allowing this to become even bigger. Then as you exhale, taking a child's pose, rocking it back, rock those hips from side to side within this child's pose. The hips are a space within the body that store a lot of our emotions. They're connected to the sacral chakra where we hold our sensuality, our desires. So often they hold a lot of our shame and tension as well. So you'll notice within this practice that we're really beginning to open into this space. Deep breath in, rocking here. Then as you inhale, press into the hands, rolling forwards, finding a spinal wave into a cobra, lifting the chest. Exhale, melt down. Inhale, ripple up like a wave. Exhale, shifting it back. Taking 3 of these spinal waves, focusing on the movement of the pelvis first. Slow it down. We are not in a rush. The exhale shifts you back 2 more. Noticing how this feels within the body, within the practice. Last one. Maybe lift the toes, opening the heart in your cobra. Exhale, shifting it back. Child's pose. As you inhale, rippling forwards, coming onto the belly. Tenting the fingers here, nice and wide off of the mat. Elbows face up. As you inhale, rippling up, shine the heart space. Exhale, ripple down, close the eyes. Inhale, rising up, opening through the heart space. Exhale, 2 more. Exhale, melting down. Inhale, ripple up. From here, right shoulder comes down, lower the chest. Inhale, center. Left shoulder comes down. 1 more on each side. Right shoulder comes down into the middle. Inhale, ripple up. Exhale. Inhale, rippling up. As you exhale, lowering yourself down. Well done. From here, pushing into the hands, shifting yourself back to a child's pose. This child's pose is going to be much wider through the knees, so nice wide legs, patting the arms down, rocking the hips back. So you find a much deeper child's pose, encouraging your chest, your heart space down to the mat, and keep that movement through the hips, the rocks. Well done. Finding your breath. Remember, this is a slow flow. Deep breaths in and out. Beautiful. Then from here, pushing into the hands, the knees come hips with distance. Melt this into a puppy pose so the forehead can come down. You can rock the forehead and rock the hips, or even come onto the chin, whatever feels good. Connecting to the breath once again, we are moving slowly. From here, you may even begin to bring some almost cat-cows into the spine, rounding the back, dropping the heart. Keeping that soft, slow, intentional movement. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Then from here, pressing into the hands, walking yourself back to sit onto the heels. Hands come onto the knees here, onto the legs, and just beginning to take some little massages of the thighs. Soft, gentle fingers, you round the back curl forwards, the fingers follow as you lift the chest, gaze up, moving through the heart space, allowing the fingers just to fall wherever it is that they do as we take these little seated cat-cows. Well done. Just checking in with your energy here. Can you surrender to the senses within this practice? If it feels new, what do you notice? The touch of the fingers, the lifting of the chest, the opening of the heart. Beautiful, allowing the head to come in, lifting the head, rounding. And then we're going to begin to make this a little bit bigger. Left hand comes down to the outside of the left foot. Begin to push the hips up for a camel. It doesn't need to be all the way. Slide the hands down, rock to the side, lift the left arm up as you push into the right hand. Swapping sides and allowing the arm that's rising just to float along the body as you lift. Exhale, swapping. 2 more, closing down the eyes. Slow it down, the fingers trace up the body. Other side. Last round. Inhale. Exhale, come to sit onto the heels by taking the camel just a little bit deeper here. So when you feel ready, the arms are just going to begin to open in a cactus, lifting the chest, keep the hips down, rounding through the shoulders. Inhale, unraveling, opening the heart space. Exhale, curl. As you inhale, push into the knees, opening up. Exhale, tuck it in. Inhale, open, lift the chest. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. And as you inhale, opening, open the heart, float the hands back, lifting the chest, engaging the glutes. Bringing your hands up the back of the legs to the back of the hips. Begin to lower the hips down. The chin is the last thing. Placing the hands onto the womb space here, where your sacral chakra would be. Taking a breath. And moving the left hand onto the heart. Breathing into this space, fill the body. Exhale, can you surrender? Allow the belly to be soft. So often the belly space is a space we have quite a tumultuous relationship with as women. Maybe where we hold some of our shame at times. So I just want you to breathe into it, to almost call the goddess of Aphrodite into it. And so much of the imagery around her, we see this beautiful feminine body, one that isn't necessarily tied to a way of looking, but in the imagery you can tell that there's a confidence, a feeling in the way that her body presents for her. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Not for finding this deep, resonant self-love. We can truly love our body in every single form it will take for us as women. And trust that as it changes and grows and shrinks and goes through its cycles, it is our vessel. And it is such a beautiful expression of art. Deep breath. And exhale, well done. From here, placing the hands onto the mat, making your way up to a downward facing dog. Bending one knee and then the other. Beautiful. From here, right leg lifts, the toes point. Exhale, bring the knee in for a pigeon pose. Slide the toes back. Coming up onto the fingertips, we rock from side to side. Slow it down. Really bring the awareness to the hips, to the sacral space. Tune into how it feels as you rock here. Notice any feelings of tension. Notice anything that feels good, that pleases the senses as well. From here, you may wish to come onto the elbows or the forehead, but keep the rocking of the hips. This rocking, this movement of the hips is so activating for our feminine goddess energy. Throughout our existence, it's really often been told to us, or we've been made to feel like it's unnatural, that it's something that we should be ashamed of, that we shouldn't move in this way. However, this is the way of movement we can feel when we find true freedom in our femininity. We embrace what makes us women. So enjoy this movement, whether it be because it feels right in the body, or even if it's just because you've been told it shouldn't, and therefore you're brave enough, rebellious enough to enjoy it. Well done. Find the breath. Tap into that center of Aphrodite at the heart space. Allow her to keep leading you. And when you feel ready, placing the hands down onto the mat, tucking the back toes, step back to your downward facing dog. Spinal wave as you inhale, ripple forwards in slow motion. Lower the hips, lift the chest, rock the head and the hips from side to side. And then lift those hips up and back. Inhale, left leg lifts, point the toes. Exhale, find your pigeon pose. Sliding the right toes back, tent the fingers, begin to take these rocks. Well done. Close the eyes, connect to the feeling, the releasing. You begin to cultivate this love for this more sensual, soft side of you. Coming onto the elbows feels good, please feel free. Beautiful. And then when you feel ready, slowly rising up, come to sit onto the hips, swinging the leg around. We're moving into a frog pose here, so you may wish to fold over your mat or put a blanket under the knees if you know that they're quite sensitive. We're moving to the long side of our mat, and we're going to start bringing our knees wider as if we were coming into a child's pose almost, but we're keeping the ankles in line with the knees this time. Then from here, bringing the hands forwards, sliding the knees and the ankles further away. You may choose to flex the feet. Now rock the hips back so they're in line with the knees, and just begin to move into this rocking. Close the eyes. This is a really deep hip opener. It's our last one of the practice, but you may feel a lot of intense tension or feelings or emotions move through you in this stage, and that's okay. If you feel like you have the space in your practice to come deeper, you can slide the knees away more, or you can come onto the elbows, but keep the rocks, keep the breath. The space may feel a little bit vulnerable, a little bit challenging. Remember, we created this energy of complete safety on our mats, of no judgment. This is such a divinely feminine and beautiful part of ourselves. But we can only truly see that and embrace this side of our femininity when we create spaces to feel safe in it. Beautiful. Five more breaths. Keep the rocks. Breathe into any tension. Last breath in. Now to exit the pose, bring the toes together first. Come onto the hands. And then slowly slide the knees back in. Come to sit onto the back of the hips. Hands are going to come behind you. And we're just going to rock the knees from side to side. This is really fantastic somatic release for any feelings of shame, any feelings of blocked spaces within the sacral space. This is really good for releasing. So just closing the eyes. Deep clearing breath, fill the body. And exhale. Beautiful. Then from here, bringing the knees together, wrapping the arms around the legs, tucking yourself in, allowing yourself to embrace the body here, to take a moment for just full love for the body, for your sensuality, for this side of you that Aphrodite wants you to see, to love. This side of us holds one of our deepest powers as women. It holds our ability to create joy and pleasure in all spaces of our life should we wish to. Create such potent energy for us to manifest and create from. So can you allow the goddess of Aphrodite to guide you towards true, deep, sensual self-love? From here, slowly unraveling. Extend the legs out in front of you at the front of the mat. Float the arms up, and as you exhale, reach them towards the feet. Then dragging the fingertips up the legs, we're coming down onto the back of our body, hugging the knees in, giving yourself a little rock from side to side, taking the tops of the knees and just circling them here. Maybe opening them, maybe closing them, whatever feels good. And then when you feel ready, bringing the soles of the feet together and finishing in your Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose, and placing your hands onto the womb space at the hips. Inviting that energy of Aphrodite into this sacral space. Imagining you could feel the energy beginning to swell and turn here, opening, blooming, filling the entire body with bliss. The energy is calling you towards any self-massage in your Shavasana today. Please feel free. Just enjoying these last few breaths wrapped in this safe, this soft, this beautiful sensual energy that Aphrodite has created for you.
Make peace with all the women you once were. Lay flowers at their feet. Offer them incense and honey and forgiveness. Honor them and give them your silence. Listen, bless them, and let them be. For they are the bones of the temple you sit in now. For they are the rivers of wisdom leading you toward the sea. I've been 1,000 different women.
You lay here in the last few moments of your practice, enjoying this energy that surrounds you, that fills you. Maybe noticing your body feeling softer, more at home, more at peace than it ever has as you allow the sensual side of you to awaken, to move through. I leave you with a message from Aphrodite, from her energy. May you realize that the body you hold is beloved. May you realize that your sensuality is the source of your being, of your creation. It's the home of your feminine. May you relearn your way home, rediscover your pleasure in the everyday. May the shame you hold wash away from you as you're slowly rebirthed into your truest, highest. Aphrodite, as you're birthed into your most authentic, divinely beautiful feminine form. You are more than welcome to stay within this space for however long it feels good. If you want to reawaken, you can, and again, whatever way feels good. As we finish this practice, I have pulled a card for you, and a picture of this card will be in the Aphrodite post on the community section. But the card that came through for you under this class, under this Aphrodite activation, was the source. This card is a reminder that the source of everything that you need is within you. And because it's come from Aphrodite, it's within your sacral, within your sensual feminine energy. It's here we hold our capacity for beauty, our capacity for creation, our capacity to create a life that feels truly in alignment and in flow. And when we connect to the source, the home of our femininity at the sacral, it is here that we can begin to allow it to overflow and infuse into your life moving forwards. Now, this is a class you may wish to come back to and continue to unravel to if you are wanting to work with Aphrodite on a longer term. This class is going to be really fantastic for just tapping you into her energy each time. But otherwise, I am so happy that you decided to come and join me. I hope that With each of these classes and activations, you can feel the feminine energy just beginning to peel open as we peel back all the layers of conditioning and doubt and worry that we might hold from this very masculine world. So as you begin to unravel and unpeel the layers, I really hope you're finding your way back to your true feminine essence. But otherwise, I will see you in our next goddess activation. I am so happy you are here. Feel free to share this class with anyone you think might enjoy it, let them know about the series. But otherwise, I'm sending you so much love. I will see you in our next goddess activation together. Bye guys.